I would respond first to say that I challenge them to find any example of a country that has achieved a large degree of political and civil freedom that has not also used private markets and capitalism as a major way of organizing its economy. Now, it doesn't work the other way around. Economic freedom is a necessary condition for political freedom, but it is not a sufficient condition. For example, we talked about Hong Kong. Hong Kong had complete economic freedom when it was a colony of the British. It had no political freedom whatsoever. There were no votes. It all came down from a benevolent dictator, Britain. So economic freedom is a necessary condition for political freedom, but it's not a sufficient condition. Political freedom, on the other hand, is neither a necessary nor a sufficient condition for economic freedom. So the relationship between economic freedom and political freedom is a complicated one. It's not a simple one. But they are not two different things at all. Here we have the latest example we see is in China, where there has been a very big move toward economic freedom. And it is beginning to create the grounds for political freedom. In some of the villages, there have been elections. You have a greater degree of openness in the society. And I predict that China will move increasingly toward political freedom if it continues its successful movement for economic freedom. On the other hand, I should also note that political freedom can be the enemy of economic freedom. If you consider the fact, consider the British colonies that were set free. Almost all of them were set free with political freedom, but the political freedom ended up being one vote, one time, with a dictator, and most of them had socialist economies. So when you have political freedom, if people have the wrong ideas and the wrong views, they will vote to restrict economic freedom. That's been what's happening in the United States and in other countries around the world. So, as I say, you're talking about a very complicated issue which cuts many ways.